A moment of silence to honor President 41 from the beginning of his presidency to the end of his life. His legacy lives on. For Sean O'Keefe, who worked in Bush's administration at the Pentagon as comptroller and CFO at the Defense Department and later as the Secretary of the Navy, Bush was president, but he was also a family man, a baseball lover, and an encouraging friend.
A knowledge that all of us had that he wasn't asking anybody or expecting anybody to do anything less than what he would do himself. And boy, that was a pretty daunting standard, because he was prepared to do whatever it took.
O'Keefe recalls his service as NASA administrator and Bush's reaction following the day after they lost Space Shuttle Columbia. Bush and his wife Barbara drove themselves to the Space Center just to see if there's anything they could do to help.
Nobody asked him to do that. Nobody said, gee, it'd be really nice if you would. He just instinctively knew that would be something that would maybe lend an oar, maybe help a little bit.
O'Keefe and Bush didn't just talk policy. He got to see a side of President 41 that most of us never got to see. O'Keefe recalls meeting Bush for a World Series Houston Astros game.
He sat there and talked about everything under the sun, you know, and then he'd talk about whether they ought to trade so-and-so or somebody else ought to be coming in, or why they aren't stepping up or whatever. Made you feel like you were just sitting there talking to a good friend.
O'Keefe says if Bush could give a word of advice for the future, it would be
kind to each other would be his advice, and do the right thing. Do everything you possibly can in order to make a situation better than the way you found it.
Flags like this one remain at half-staff today as we honor the passing and remarkable life of George H.W. Bush. In Syracuse, New York, I'm Brenda Koopsen, NCC News.